All right, everybody. Hello. This is our Camp Raven Knob pre-registration walkthrough. We're having a couple audio issues with Keith's microphone on his computer.
All right, everybody. Hello.
So if you will
this is
just
our Camp Raven Knob pre-registration walkthrough. We're having a couple audio issues.
so if you will just type your questions for Keith in the comments section, we'll read those out and get those answered for you. But tonight, the main purpose of this is just to walk you through the registration process. So there's two key dates that you need to know about for summer camp registration. For Boy Scout camp, February 15th, March 15th. Those are our two primary dates. So this on February 15th, that's the names registration. That's when you'll go be able to log into your account and you'll be able to pay your $150 per scout. And then that gets you set. So that's your unit count payment. Now we have an entire month for you to do that. So there's no rush to get in on February 15th. The first day, there's no rush. So you can get on there anytime between February 15th and March 14th and make your unit count payment. That will allow you then on March 15th to begin your session registration for your scouts. March 15th, that's the important date that you'll want to keep track of because that is the session registration date. So the way that we have it set up is we require a $150 payment per scout for them to register for sessions. So it takes it as a cumulative total. So if you have 10 scouts, you're going to need to have $150 per 10 scouts to then register all 10 of those scouts on March 15th. If you pay less than that, you'll be able to register up to 9 scouts. And then once you make your additional payment, you'll be able to register to that 10th scout. So that's kind of how we have that set up. Now, both dates, March 15th and February 15th, the registration windows will open at 8 a.m. Eastern time. So that's the time that they open. We used to open them at midnight, but the last couple of years we've moved it back to 8 a.m. That just seemed to work better for everybody else so that they didn't have to stay up super late to try to log in and register. So we'll walk through the questions in a minute. I see we've already had some coming through. So Ken, we'll get to you in a second. But let me just walk you through kind of the steps that you're going to take on Monday. Or excuse me, February 15th. Okay. So you should have received a letter in the mail from Keith. And if it's not there yet, it'll be there soon. That has your username and password in that. It's the same username and password that you had if you camped with us last summer. We've not changed any of that stuff. So you should have that information. If for some reason you don't get your letter, shoot us an email to registration@ravenknob.com and we will get that information to you as soon as we can. So that will be, that's what you need for registration. When you go to register, you're going to go to ravenknob.com. Let me just share my screen. And you're going to go to ravenknob.com, and then you'll log in right up here at the top with your account information. So you'll type in your username here, password here. That will take you to your homepage. And so I'm just going to show you an example of what we have. Let me fix this really quick. All right, let me relog this in. There we are. Sorry, I had Flash turned off. Let me go share my screen again. All right. So when you go to log in, it's going to show up here. And you're going to see, let me just pull up our an account that we have for this summer. We're going to use Troop 8 Mecklenburg as an example tonight. So when you log in, your account will show up just like this. Now for summer camp registration, we assign you to your week and your campsite. So you can verify that all correct. It'll show you your week right here. It will also show your campsites here. So if you have multiple campsites, it will show you them there. So when you log in on February 15th, the first thing you're going to do is tell us your unit count and who's coming for that. So you'll go here to your managed spots, and we're going to add 10 scouts and 2 full-time leaders and 1 half-week leader. You'll hit next, and it's going to ask you to make your minimum payment. So this is going to calculate what it needs for the 150 payment. So it's going to ask for $1,350. You're already going to have a credit for $100 in here that you see because that's your campsite deposit. So then you'll just hit complete, and it will take you to a checkout window right here. So we'll hit checkout, and you would fill out all your credit card information here or your e-check information. So you can do either check or credit card. All right, so I'm just going to push this through, and I'll go take it out later so that we can get them taken care of. Let me just change that. All right, so then it will tell you that your order has been submitted, and so then you'll be set and ready to go. So that is kind of the walkthrough for summer camp for on February 15th when the window opens. So you should see your week and your campsites on your homepage. So that's kind of how you do your setup. Now, if you need to adjust, go and add more to your unit count after you push it through, hit your home tab here, click on the week. It will take you back to the home registration page. You can just come in here, manage spots, increase or decrease as needed. So we'll add 2 to him, hit next. You would pay your $150 here, so you could put $300. I'm not gonna pay anything right now because I have to take this out. And then you're just gonna hit checkout and then put your payment information in and hit place order. All right. So that's kind of what you need to know for registrations for this February 15th. All right, so let's see a couple questions before I go into the next thing. Hey, Laura, Brian, Chad, Wendy. I'm just seeing if we had any questions. Hey, Mark, Kevin, Dana, Bill, Christine, Darren, Chris, Kenneth, Hector, Tracy, Cleveland, Sherry. I'm just reading through to see if we have any questions. 54, Ken, do you need to use a credit card, and is there an extra charge to use a credit card? We do not charge the fees for credit cards, but you can use you can use your credit card or e-check for either. The e-check just works like a credit card, except you're just using your checking account. So the bottom numbers on your check, you can use that. So there is no extra charge for credit card. Mark, glad that your letter arrived. Can you share where you were on the original screen again? So Wendy, so your original screen when you log in will look like this. And the website that you're going to be going to is ravenknob.com. So you will see the login right here on the top. Okay. And did that show Raven Knob? I don't think it did. It's on the top right of our stream, of our website, ravenknob.com. That's where the login is. Okay, so your original screen when you log in will look just like that. Can you pay by e-check? Yes, you accept e-checks. And we also take checks by mail. Or Wendy, hold on one second. I'm going to log out really quick, and then I'll get you back in there. So you'll go to ravenknob.com, and then you're going to hit login right here. And then you're going to come into this, and yours will look just like this. And the important thing for you to know is in this top right corner or left corner, you want to make sure it says Old Hickory Council. Several councils and camps use Tenaroo. So if you just type in Tenaroo in Google, and you might land on someone else's page. So that's why it's important to go to ravenknob.com and log in through there. Okay. Now I'm an admin, so you will not see this stuff, but if you just go to your troop, I think we did 8 Mecklenburg. This is what your home screen looks like. So hopefully that answered your question. And Sherry had asked about checks by mail. He commented below, but we do accept checks by mail, but we highly, highly, highly encourage you to pay either by credit card or e-check, because it's going to process your payment immediately. So where that's really important is if you wait till the beginning of March to do your unit count payment, and you're planning to go in and register your scouts on the 15th, but we don't get the check until like the 13th, and we don't have time to get that payment processed in time on your account, you won't be able to get your scouts registered on the 15th if that payment gets applied. And I had a couple more questions we're going to look at. All right. So is there any questions right now about your February 15th unit count, what you need to do for your unit count? Anybody? If you'll just type them really quick, we'll answer them for you. We attend camp at Woodruff last year and registered as a night because the server was overloaded. Does that happen with your camp? Should we expect delays? You should not expect delays. We use the service Tenaru, and I don't know if that's what Woodruff uses or not, but they're on we're on Amazon Web Servers, and so they know that we're kind of one of the largest camps, so they're well aware of our launch days, and if it starts to slow, they'll scale us up. So you shouldn't see any issues with that. Should use. Do you give leaders a discount for doing partial week camp? I have 2 leaders who are going to split the weeks. So if you have 2 leaders, just register them as half-week leaders. It should add up to the exact same. You remember if you've read through the leaders guide, if you have 10 and over scouts, you get 2 leaders free. If you have 9 and below, you get 1 leader free. It automatically calculates that, so you don't have to worry about taking that out when you put in your unit payments. It will take care of all that for you. Oh, thanks, Towner. The sun always does shine better at Raven Knob. Can I select the unit count I anticipate in event on the final names? Yes. So here's the thing. You can scale up or scale down your unit count payment anytime you want to between now and April, I think it's 25th. I'll have to double check that. Keith, do you remember our cutoff date? Let me look at that really quick. I have a computer in front of me. I'll just look. Let me check that really quick. Dun, dun. Excuse me, 4/15. So anytime between now or February 15th and April 15th, you can scale up or scale down your unit count. It does not matter to us. You can do it anytime you want to. So you can do that. After the 15th, you'll have to go through Raven Knob, registration at ravennob.com to scale down your unit count. The reason that is we kind of lock in and build our food numbers off that stuff. So we just want to be careful not allowing a lot of people to scale down. So that's why we take care of that. We do allow leaders to register for half. Okay, we signed up for Sam Houston, but have 2 additional parents. Yes, Wendy, it's fine. I would not worry about the unit count numbers for the campsites, because we will bring tents in or take tents away if we need to adjust them. So the ones that are on the website, if it says a 30 is max capacity, we'll take care of adding another tent somewhere. Or if you bring a lot more than you've told us, we'll figure out another arrangement for that. So. Let's see here. Do we need to register leaders when you register scouts? You do not have to register leaders when you register the scouts, but we highly do recommend you register your leaders. The leaders, they have all their information on there as well. So when they go to register for sessions, so like your leaders, CPR, any of that stuff, that's all done through Tenaroo as well. So everything that you can do with Camp Raven Knob is done through Tenaroo. Now, let me go ahead and walk you through what you're going to be doing on March 15th. So, Evan, if you'll pop me back up on the big screen. Perfect. So, February 15th is your unit count date where you can start doing your unit count. March 15th at 8 a.m. is your session registration date. So, that's the important one. So, we're going to go into, I'm actually going to go into a dummy troop that we have just so I don't mess up another unit's count. I need to write down that I need to clean out troop 8. All right, I'm going to get register really quick for this. All right. Y'all won't be doing any of this because we already assigned it for you. I'm just using this for an example. Okay. So now when you come in on March 15th, when you log in your screen, you're going to see this. It'll say session registration opens on March 15th. So you'll be able to do that then. You also see here your counts. So what this is showing is you've got 2 slots. So we have 1 adult, 1 scout. When you click on your week, you're going to see down here, here's your slots, 0 of 1 registered, 0 of 1 registered, 0, 0. So when we register scouts or adults for their sessions, that's what we're going to do right now. This is what you'll be doing on March 15th, assuming you've made your $150 payment per scout. So March 15th comes around, you made your $150 payment. It will remind you down here. If you have not, it will tell you what you need to add. So we're going to hit add participant. So we're going to go Nate Todd because he's a cool dude. You'll double check all this information here. So this is their first name, information. We don't need the emails for the scouts. It'll tell you the stuff that's required. So up here, you'll see it'll tell you, hey, something that you need to have is not done. So it'll ask you for all that if you have it. If you have allergies, you can put that information here. We pull that and give it to the dining hall and the health lodge. And any other information you can just fill out in here if you need it. You're going to hit next after you choose the scout. So you've already chose the scout. Next is participant type. It's going to ask you this for I'm registered. So that was me. That was the fake account as a youth. But if you have adults, it'll have 2 here. It'll say full week adult or half week adult. So that's why it asks you what type. So then you apply those people to that one. So then you hit next. And then you're going to hit complete. All right. So we're here. You may tell you what. Give me 1 second. I kind of pulled a boneheaded move. I've not loaded the sessions yet for March 15th. So let me do that really quick. Evan, if you'll take me down 1 second. The screen. Thank you. Let me load that. That was not very smart of me. I was like, why are the classes not showing up? Well, I've not loaded them. That might make sense. All right, Evan, you can throw me back up. All right, perfect. All right, so March 15th, now we'll actually register for a class. March 15th rolls around. You'll come down here to participants. Well, I've already added me, so you're going to click on this. This is also how you would edit a scout schedule. You're going to go to manage registration, hit edit registration. All that's correct. I'm a youth. And then it's going to show your sessions here. Now, this system is really awesome. So when you select a first period session, so nature, it takes out all other first period sessions. So you don't have to worry about putting two together. So then we're going to do plant science because that sounds awesome. Then we'll do weather. Then we're going to have a free session. Then we're going to have reptile amphibian. And then we're going to do geology. All right. If we wanted to add a troop photo here, we'd add that. You will not see visitor meals or anything like that. Those are just admin options. Then we're going to hit next. And we're going to hit complete. And that will take you to here. And then you'll go in and add your next scout. So we'll just go ahead and register another adult. Jonathan, he's going to be our adult. Oh, sorry. Don't know why it didn't ask for him. I need to add participant. Jonathan. Why is it asking for a youth? I'm in the wrong spot. Oh, he is a youth. That's why. So I need to go new adult. Nate. All this stuff's optional. And you can tell us when the adults, if they're doing half week, but we're going to come all week because it's awesome. You can't beat Ruby Knob. Is there anything else I need? Nope. So we're going to register this adult. So adult sessions are the exact same. So if an adult wants to take Cripple Creek, they can do that. Hit add. And we're going to add a troop photo. And then we're going to hit next. All right. Then once you're all said and done, you get everybody registered for their sessions on March 15th. You're going to hit checkout. And then you're going to place your order here at the bottom. It's very important that you place your order. And it's going to show you all the stuff in your cart. It's very important you place your order because if you don't place your order, it is not going to process your sessions. So if you go in, put all your kids in their session, but you forget to check out, you're going to see this up here. Your cart has items in it. Anytime you have items in your cart, that means those changes are not saved. So you want to make sure you always check out after any major transaction of like adding sessions or paying for anything like that. Okay. So okay, let me get back and read some of our questions. So let me see where we're at. Okay. Ken, so registration for sessions begins March 15th at 8 a.m. It's and Kenneth, it's 2 liters per troop, not per campsite. You can go ahead, and that's a great question, Kevin. You can actually go ahead and build up your roster before session registration. So your roster for summer camp, let me show you where that's at. So when you're in your home tab here, you're going to hit manage my group. And you can go ahead and add your scouts' names and all their information now prior to the March 15th registration date. So that's a great thing I would take advantage of is go ahead and get all your scouts' information in the system so it's ready to go before March 15th. So then all you have to do is click their name and their set schedules. All right, so the great question, Kevin. So Nate, we update the rosters for Old Hickory Council troops only. So that's why you see names already in those troops. So we'll update the rosters for Old Hickory Council troops. We can't do it for out of council troops at this time, unfortunately. So I would just go ahead and build your session, your rosters for your scouts and adults prior to March 15th. Wendy, we only have 1 login per troop, and we highly recommend you do not have multiple people log in at the same time on that, because we just don't know exactly what will happen. So you could have your entire troop of 40, and you 2 people try to log in and then nothing gets done. So we recommend you don't do that. If you're bringing a large number of scouts, yeah, I would check out after like every 10. That just way makes sure that your sessions are locked in. You don't get charged or anything for the number of time you check out, so it's good. Wendy, the parent would need to pay for meals, but that will be what they need to pay for, just for the meals. But we can handle that at admin when they arrive. And so if they're just doing lunch, that's I think our fee is like $5 a day for lunch. I could be wrong on that. Keith, am I wrong on that? Okay, so it's $5 a day. All right. And Wendy, if you've used Tenaroo in GA, it will not populate for you. So every Tenaroo is a separate count. Every council's Tenaroo is separate. So Old Hickory Council is different than whatever council you were with in Georgia. So you'll have to upload your roster, you'll have to update your roster on our Tenaroo system to register with that. So that's a great question. Laura, merit badge sessions will be available on March 15th. They will not show up for you until March 15th, but it's going to be our schedule is on the Leader's Guide, which is posted on our website. We'll also have a separate program grid that you can download. I need to double check that and make sure that's been updated, that you can download and have your scouts go ahead and mark up their schedules. All right. So any other questions about session registration? If you'll just type those in for me, I will try to answer those. And then we got a couple program things. And the reason we this year are just doing Leaders Guides online only is when we have updates to it. So like the map, I know right now on version 1 is not very clear on the back. When we have updates to it, we'll just update it there and send out an email blast, and you'll always have the most current information. Wendy, if you plan on going on the new river stuff, whitewater kayaking, our counselors will do everything they can to work with their scouts to make up the sessions. But if they cannot, they'll just get a partial, and then you'll be able to finish those sessions when you're, back home. But our plan is to have everything that we can for scouts to make those up and work with the counselors on that. So that's our plan. And then we have a new program this year, and I'm going to talk about it really quickly, and then Keith will nod his head yes or no if I tell anything wrong. So we're offering ATV program this summer. It's going to be a very limited amount of scouts that can take it this first summer. We still have a couple of things we're working through, so there's a very small chance that we might have to pull it, but that's very small. We're just getting through the final confirmations with everything. So one of the things with the ATV programs, we're going to be able to take 4 scouts that are 15 to 16 year olds and 4 scouts. Hold on, I wrote it down. Let me find my note. Excuse me, 16 to 17. 4 scouts 16 to 17 year old and 4 scouts 17 to 18 years old. No. Hold on, let me just call Keith. We talked this afternoon. All right.
All right, we can do 4 scouts, 14 and 15.
Okay.
4 scouts, 16 and 17.
Okay, perfect. All right, so we can do 4 scouts, 14 and 15, 4 scouts, 15 and 16. 16 and 17. It's been a long day. Anyway, it'll be taken care of. So there'll be 2 ATV programs in there, 1 for each session. We can only take 8 scouts total this first year. And I know that's not ideal, but we're launching this program. this summer just to see how it goes. And there's national requirements and all this other stuff. So we're just having to be very careful and diligent about how we launch this program, but we're very excited to have it this summer, the ATB program. We've been looking at it for a couple years. So we'll send out another blast email before we go session registration, probably about a week or so, once we have everything finalized. And we'll put all that information in there for you to double check. So that session is going to fill up really quick. So that's another reason you want to try to make sure you have your payments in there so that you can try to log in and get it. You know, I know that it's going to fill up fast, and, you know, we apologize up front. Not everybody is going to be able to get those classes, and, you know, that's all we can do for this summer. So we're really sorry about that. Any other questions we've got? Anybody? One thing that everyone, I want you to know that's very important, Evan, if you'll throw up my screen again, please, is it's very, very important for us. Our primary way to contact you is through Tenru system, okay? So it's very important for us for you to make sure your profile is updated. So on your home screen here, you're going to hit Manage Profile. And this is where we need you to update your contact information. So we need the primary contact that's coming to summer camp to be listed here, email address and phone number. That's how we make sure we contact everybody. This is the first place we go when we need to contact you, email or phone. So that's when we ask you to do that, okay? Yes. So Kevin, there'll be a lot of things we'll send out to all the ATB participants about what they need to bring. So we'll make sure we send that out to those participants. It is basically a closed campus. So we have one entrance and one exit, Wendy. So your parents can park near the admin building. If you look on the camp map, I've not updated it yet for this year with the new merit badges, but they'll have parking symbols where they can park their car long term. We try to keep traffic to a minimum during summer camp, just because there's a lot of kids walking around. Any other questions? I'm going to give you about 5 minutes and then we'll shut this down. So if you'll just have any other questions, if you'll type them in, I'll answer them and live right here on the air. So Jay, the leaders softball game, they'll discuss that during leaders meetings. I'm not exactly sure how they do it. But if you plan to participate, just bring your softball equipment, glove, bat, all that good stuff. There's not a sign up in Tenru. You just show up to play, since that's an event that, you know, anybody can just come, leaders come to. We don't have registration for that. All right. Confirming, forgive if you've already covered late getting on, confirming that the merit badge class schedule is the final approved schedule. The schedule that's on the 2020 leaders guide is the final approved schedule. If our troop would like to perform a skit, should we sign up in advance? Wendy, you do not need to sign up in advance. You can talk to the program director that first evening at summer camp when you're there for skits. And your skit will probably be on a Friday night. That will be more than likely when your skit is. Any other questions? We got about 3 minutes left. And the important email address whenever you have questions about registration is registration@ravennob.com. Please try to send all your emails there. Don't try to call the council office. Try to send all your registration questions there. We have a team of about 4 to 5 people that monitor that email address. We ramp up when we monitor it closer to registration dates, but we try to take care of all that and try to answer you back within a couple 24 hours or so. We do the best we can, but we're all volunteers, so that's why we try to make sure we get as quick as we can. But please be patient with us. Hey, Laura, class fees are very similar to last year. Wendy, Walmart is about 20 minutes away from camp. And there's a great note from Ash, who's on the Camp Raven Knob account. Some of your credit cards do have daily limits, so just make sure you know that information before you try to go make your payments. So you can make multiple payments, but I would start before your March 15th deadline for sessions, because you want to make sure you have all your 150 deposit per scouts done prior to that. All right, got about 2 more minutes if there's any other questions. Do you have a contact for dietary needs? There will be, there's an email address, but there's also a special diet form that we'll send that out in an email a little closer to camp. And yes, what Ash has typed, we really encourage leaders to sign up for their classes. They're listed in the back of the guide just for leaders. We encourage you to sign up for those. That just gives us kind of a head count of who all we're expecting. Brian and Carrie, do merit badges fill up quickly? Yes and no. It depends on the merit badges. So your merit badges with smaller caps, those fill up quickly. Obviously, they have small caps, but your shooting sports classes, your outback classes, those fill up pretty quickly. Aquatics, some of those programs like small boat sailing, those fill up pretty quickly. But a lot of your nature classes will fill up, quickly, especially if they're Eagle required. Eagle required classes fill up pretty quickly. But you should have your scouts will get a really good chance at getting their first preference if the earlier they register. But we would encourage you to go ahead and have their scouts have an alternate if you think it's a class that might fill up quickly. No, Barry, scouts only have to be paid $150 per scout. So it's it all adds up together. So if you're gonna bring let's say 10 scouts, you're gonna need to pay $1,500 by March 15th to register 10 scouts. If you only paid $1,400, the system's going to allow you to register 9 scouts. And then once you make that additional payment, you can register the 10th scout. Day campers, we will have a separate form for day campers. We've not uploaded that yet, but we'll send you a link. It'll be on ravenknob.com under the registration tab. It'll say provisional/day camper. We do that separate, and there's the reason behind that is that we don't allow people to individually register for Raven Knob through Tenaroo, just because it would just mess up the way we do reporting and everything. So we have you register through a form, and then we place you into a troop if you're a provisional. If you have a couple of mature younger scouts who do you contact to have age restrictions waived, you can send an email to registration@ravenknob.com. What I would suggest you do is go ahead and register them for everything, even and put a free session in the class that they need that needs the age requirement waived, and then we'll go back in and place them for that. All right. We're going to have one other webcast here in March to go over the program, and Keith will be on that one leading that. That'll just talk about all of our different programs and any questions you have, especially for first-time troops. So we'll send out an email to the primary contacts in the database to make sure you have information for that. But this was kind of for just session registration. If you have any additional questions, you can send us an email to registration@ravenknob.com. There's a great point from our camp director. So when you're doing your schedules, look at the camp map, and I'll update that one this weekend, because I know the back of the leader's guide, for some reason, when it uploaded, it didn't print exactly correctly. I'll get that uploaded. But try to make sure that when you're planning your boys' schedules, that they're not you're not going all around camp. So, for example, don't place them in a 9 o'clock session in handicrafts, and then at 10 o'clock place them at nature area, and then at 11 o'clock place them at shooting sports, and then because they're just going to be jumping all around camp, and that's just going to kind of give them whiplash. So try to schedule your scouts by area. So if they're going to take 2 nature classes, try to keep in an aquatics class, try to keep them all in that area, and then the afternoon session, move them to other areas of camp. And please respect the age limits that we have posted. So those are requirements. I mean, not requirements, they're recommendations, but, please try to follow that. That just helps the scouts be more successful. It also allows the older scouts who've been to camp multiple times get some of the classes they might not have got. So we just ask you to be, respect the age limits that we try to set up, just because we're trying to make sure that each scout has the best experience they can have. All right. Towner girls schedules, those are done just like the boy schedules. You'll actually, if you have a boy troop and girl troop, you actually have a separate account. So you'll have that account for that. So you register them just like boy troops for the girl troops. All right. I'm going to give it one more minute, and then I'll have Evan shut us down. If there's any last minute questions. All right, so we've got about 30 seconds. We hope this has been informative, and just remember your first window for your unit count registration is going to be this Saturday at 8 a.m. So you can log on and put in your roster and make your 150 payment. And Wendy and everyone else, we're so glad to have you this summer. We're looking forward to it. We thank y'all. So registration at ravenalm.com with any questions, and we will take it from there. All right, y'all have a great evening, and we'll talk to you soon.